can open up violations. And we see they got hit with an unsafe violation in 2012. And then they've just continued to have more and more and more and more violations on this property. So it is vacant. It is unsafe. They've been failing violations, or they've been failing inspections since 2012. And this thing is definitely going to cost a lot of money to rehab it. And so for us, we would put it in, like, as far as the calculation goes, we're at least going to do $60 a square foot. So $60 a square foot times the square footage of the property, 3,218. It's a $193,000 rehab budget. So then you go ahead and you add what they paid for it, and this is already $43,000 above, what would be considered the assessed value. And that's just at $60 a square foot. And so this thing is vacant. It is unsafe. This is not the kind of property that you would want to spend $350,000 on. And so maybe, they would think that, well, I'm not sure what they think, but you've got to make sure that you go in and you look at the code violations. There was a couple properties that we saw where from the photos, they looked okay. You might see, okay, this looks all right, but then you get into licenses and inspections, and they have it labeled like the property is unfit to be living in. It's been vacant for a while. There's structural damage. One of the words is imminently dangerous. And so if you find a property that is imminently dangerous, that means they could demolish that property in the next week, in the next month, in the next few months. If it's imminently dangerous, it's going to be vacant. And so there have been people who have acquired properties in Philadelphia. They've paid, maybe they got it for $20,000. It looks like it's a great deal. The house could be worth 200 grand fixed up. And the next thing you know, the county comes and demolishes the building and hits you with the $20,000 demolition fee. So these are all the kind of things, that can happen. And so it's very important to do due diligence, avoid any pitfalls, be looking at code violations, and of course, making sure that you drive the property as well. So those are some horror stories just from recently in Philadelphia, and but still there was some really good deals there. And so there was actually 47 properties that showed up at the auction this week, and so normally there's maybe 20 or 25, but I was really surprised. All of a sudden, like boom, there's 46 there. And so just kind of going, if we sort this by price, let me go ahead and go back here. There was some pretty low sales. So a lot of stuff selling under 5K. You got like $4,800, 4,600, 4,000, 38, 1,900, and then even $1,600. Something sold for $1,600, which means there was one.
What was the market value on some of these?
Let's take a look at that one. So that one, they're giving it an assessed value of $27,000. So a piece of land assessed at 27 grand, sold for $1,600. No bids on it, and then a lot of stuff too for $1,900. So there are people who are overpaying. There are people who they don't, have any process for due diligence. They don't drive properties, but at the same time, there are plenty of opportunities here, which is fantastic.
All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I have a free gift for you for watching a free mini course called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. This is one of the best books on tax liens, and it is totally free as my gift to you for watching. In the description below, it'll walk you through tax liens from start to finish, along with the directories with all 1,500 tax lien and deed counties put here so that you don't have to go and search around the internet to find them on your own. So the other thing I have is, if you already have this book and you want to do a deep dive, my team and I have found an auction with a whole bunch of properties worth 200 to 300 grand, opening bids of just $1,600. So if you want to deep dive and attend an auction with some help, you can also schedule a free call below and we can discuss helping you in this business. Regardless, thanks for watching. You can check things out in the description below and enjoy the videos. We'll see you soon.